We have lots to talk about today. Let us talk about history. Let us talk about those who have left us and who have left a huge and amazing legacy behind us. Mr. Burkhard Bovensiepen, the founder of Alpina Automobiles, whom in 1965 established the Alpina vehicle manufacturing. At the time, he was working together with BMW, creating dual Weber carburetors, which became approved by the BMW factory as warranted and guaranteed for having such high quality, and subsequently put into any manufactured cars later on until 1983, where Alpina became its own manufacturer in Germany and a factory, certified factory, and their collaboration continued on for actual full vehicles anywhere between 1965 and today, where they are still flourishing as a company. It is still a family-owned company ran by amazing auto enthusiasts whom I personally have the pleasure of knowing as friends and car family. Mr. Matt Russell, who leads the US division of Alpina, was gracious enough to invite me to lunch together with the rest of the Bovensiepen and the Alpina family team, where we had an amazing day of outing, lunch, talking about prospect and somewhat future work. At that day, I mentioned to them I have an amazing former Re-Bodied Alpina number 35 coming in to my representation. Let us as well talk about another piece of history. Imagine all the Re-Bodied and re-chassied racing cars from Porsche, Ferrari, Lamborghini, BMW, and what have you, Mercedes. Some of the most significant low manufactured cars, low number manufactured cars, whom in turn have been rebodied, raced, crashed, and what have you, only to preserve that historic value of the cars. Behind me is one such example. Down to the wire. Set your hopes up way too high. Living's in the way we die. Comes the morning and the headlights fade away. 100,000 changes, everything's the same. The Alpina factory manufactured 97 BMW 850i, Alpina B12 5.0 automatic cars, as well as 57 CSI-based BMW B12 Alpina 5.7 coupes. When you have such incredibly low numbers, if one of them historically gets damaged or crashed, in my personal opinion, unless it's sitting at the bottom of the sea where no one can actually retrieve it, it deserves to be saved. Sometime around 2003, 2004, 2005-ish, an American soldier living in the United Kingdom, stationed in Europe, buys a 1994 Alpina 5.7 coupe, number 35 out of the 57, from a German businessman. The car at the time did not have that much mileage on it. He proceeds to buy it, enjoy it, drive it around, a left-hand drive car, which he drives in London's right-hand drive car. Being that the ground usually is wet in that country because of the rain, he overestimated his own driving ability as well as the car's abilities, and with high speed he loses control and crashes the car. It crashes pretty significantly. The car, he survives, thankfully, but the car does not. However, the body of the car does not. Everything else in the car, luckily, engine, transmission, seats, interior, what have you, do survive. The wheels and some of the good parts. A good friend of mine, Mr. Pradeep, sees the car at an ad in a junkyard and purchases it. He realizes very quickly that it's too rich for his blood. He might not be able to restore this car to its former glory. So he calls up a friend and an industrialist, Mr. Peter J. Rice, whom does have the ability and the means and the power to be able to restore this car to its former glory. Once he sees the car, he buys it, he brings it in and goes to work, realizing that the chassis is far too gone to be remade into whole. What he does is he goes to Germany, he finds an exact spec BMW 850 CSI chassis number 661, because the previous Alpina number 35 was based on chassis 773. 661 is this one, same exact color combo with around the same exact miles, which should be around 70 to 72,000 kilometers at the time. And he starts the daunting task of transferring everything Alpina and sourcing everything Alpina that is not transferable from chassis 773 certified Alpina to chassis 661. It is no easy feat. He finds everything he can from one car, and everything he cannot, he goes to work to actually find actual Alpina parts, such as the hood, steering wheel, the shift knob, the plaque, and what have you. Completely building a new car and rescuing Alpina number 35. Now, it's an Alpina B12 5.7 powered BMW 850 CSI. As my great good friend Gary Corcoran says, it took 2 CSIs to build this amazing car. Years pass, he enjoys the car for a while, and someone in Australia shows interest in the car. He sells it off to him. That gentleman enjoys the car for a little while, and it's been historically photographed and videoed over time when he had it in Australia. He has it for a little while, and then he sells it to another gentleman in New Zealand. While in New Zealand, It's been enjoyed by the family for several years. Mind you, now we're talking from 2006 or 7 until maybe about 2012, 13, 2013, 14, and then it's been New Zealand and Australia. Subsequently, in around 2020, 21, 22, they want to let it go and pass it on to someone else. Sometime around 2022, my good friend and partner, Mr. Monfred of the Monfred Enterprises, and I see the car and we purchase it and begin a import to the United States of America. I have been wanting to represent this car for the longest time because I've known about it. It has been jumped on, canceled, bombarded, all over and what have you over the years. But I wanted to do it justice. I wanted to bring here and tell its proper story. A car that was rescued, just like any Ferrari or a Porsche rebodied, rechassis rescue car. Do you know how many times or how many of those cars have unbelievable stories of crashed, rebodied, new engine? If a car can get a new engine transmission, why can't it get a new body and chassis? I have been in touch with the Alpina family several times about trying to recertify this car. I've been unsuccessful at that. However, that does not take away from this incredible car. It is a rebodied Alpina number 35. It's just living in a new body. Everything that belonged to the other car came over. This is a historical car and it needed to be rescued. And Mr. Peter J. Rice, you did it right. I can point to hundreds of historically important cars who were rescued like this and now are worth millions of dollars, as will this car one day be. There are only 57 of these amazing cars in the world. An Alpina 5.7 B12 Coupe with 430 horsepower, an Alpina tuned engine, transmission, suspension, interior, and everything. It has an air intake and a louver on top of it for the extra cooling. This car is super well sorted. We've done anything it needs. We did engine work to it. We need brake work to it, interior work, headliner, and what have you. The 5.0s and the 5.7s are incredibly smooth, creamy butter driving cars. Anywhere I go with this car, it raises heads, turns heads, raises heads, and I get thumbs up anywhere I go. I took it to a car show and people were blown away. To the next caretaker, we've had this car for 2 years and enjoyed the heck out of it. And I wanted to get this opportunity to sit in front of the camera and talk about this amazing car. It is, in my opinion, Alpina number 35, certified or not. And with that, I thank my amazing partner, Mr. Monfred, who've given us the opportunity to bring this amazing car to the United States. Bid with confidence, you're getting a genuine Alpina in every sense of the word. It's just been rebodied. Thank you for being with me today. And thank you, Alpina family. Thank you, BMW. And thank you, the entire E31 family. And I know you will be behind us on this amazing auction. The next caretaker of this car will be very pleased and going to get an amazing car. It has only 74,000 kilometers on it. It's very low mileage, which means about 45,000 US miles. My name is Al Cartio, and I'm with Cartiology Films, and I represent this amazing Alpina. Mark my words, this car one day will be worth millions of dollars because it's a historical car that was rescued.